Good evening, everybody. Chef Jay on Sunday again. We're here cooking veggie stir fry, one of my recent favorites. I want to share it with you. It's quick and easy. Give me a second. We're going to get it started, and we're going to take it off from here. Okay. Refresh this page. Okay, refresh again, see what happens. Cool. Share. Share now. Alright, 1 second, we're about to get it started with this veggie stir fry. Hey Stephanie, hey Marcus, hey everybody. We're about to get it started right now. Mm-hmm. Cool. So I gotta go to this to look at the comments on the laptop. So that should load the comments as they come up. Alright, so I see you guys are here.
You're still not live on your mom's page with the blue and white.
You sure?
Blue and white stripes, you're not live.
Alright, let me try again.
You're live on the blue, so you're good. You're live on the blue.
Yeah, I don't know if that one can do it.
You're okay.
Actually, hold on. I'm fixing it now. Alright, there you go. No, I clicked the wrong
You're live on the blue.
one. Alright, I did it on both. Alright.
Oops.
Hey guys, Tiffany. Hey everybody. I'm guessing that's Brittany and Duke because he told me to watch out for that. Not to get tricked. Alright, so we're going to be using nothing but fresh veggies today. The best and the freshest. We're going to keep it nice and easy.
Jelani, you gotta turn it.
Where is that coming from? I never playing the video.
Turn the camera.
Turn the camera? What do you mean? Like this? Like that? I don't know what you mean.
It's funny outside.
You said turn the camera?
Turn it, not upside down. Turn the camera.
Oh, you mean this camera? I see. No, I need that to be like this. I need you guys to see this. Okay, so I'm going to let my beautiful god sister hold the camera for me while we go over these. Alright, so this is what you're doing. Veggie stir fry. It is a lot of stuff, but the general idea is veggies, right? You're going to sesame oil, bell peppers, red onion, broccoli, garlic, teriyaki sauce, shiitake mushrooms, bok choy, carrots, pepper flakes, salt, pepper, snow peas if you like them. I stay away from the snow peas, and fresh Thai basil. If you want to take a screenshot of this, go all the way down the list, hold it out here for you. Alright, so that's what we're cooking with. We're doing this in about 40 minutes, prep time 20 minutes, cooking about 15 minutes, maybe even less. So when we do this, I want to keep it very clear that we're doing this very quickly. It's a stir fry, so you want to make sure that everything is, cooking very fast. You're going to put it over rice, and it's going to be nice and hot and delicious. So I'm going to...
This way. The camera The camera's vertical. That's what everybody keeps saying.
The camera's vertical.
Yes.
Oh, so how do I set this up
I don't know. You watch.
to hold this?
I don't know. Here.
That don't even make sense. Shame. Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna let her hold it because I can't set up the tripod to do all that. Not that savvy when it comes to that.
Start again.
Say it again.
Start your group meetings again. So now we got a better picture.
Okay. I need to figure out why the sound is coming out of this also. Okay.
You need to get up here so I
So,
can taller.
now that we're back how we're supposed to be, we're not all sideways on you guys. We're going to do it the right way. Prep time 2015 comes out to about 40 minutes total. You're cooking with a wok, or if you have an electric stove, a big spatula. I'll go over that later. Cutting board, knife, and a spatula. And so, one more time, this is what you need. You get as far back as, so you're going veggies all the way down. Peppers, onion, broccoli, all the goodies. Bok choy, carrots, onion, basil, pepper, salt, all the good stuff. And if you're just joining me, welcome. Thank you guys for letting me know for the vertical stuff. So, if you want to get these videos, very soon we're going to be putting them up for you to re-watch them over and over again. But we're going to let people join while I re-go over what I told you guys to re-emphasize it for the new people. We're going fresh veggies. I was reading a recipe and a lady said she just used a frozen bag of veggies to substitute. And in a dish where it's only vegetables, what's the point in cutting corners on that one important thing? And so, just to put emphasis on what we're using, I went to an Asian market to get a lot of these things. So, sesame oil. Sesame oil is easy to get fooled with, and you get the wrong type of stuff. What you're looking for is pure sesame oil, usually a product of Japan. That's what you want to look for. They make it the right way. Not a product of Switzerland or something, because you don't know what kind of sesames they're using, what kind of whatever. And then, very teriyaki. This stuff is delicious, and it's pretty awesome. It's teriyaki sauce is a combination of so many things that it's pretty difficult to make. It's pretty difficult to recreate a teriyaki sauce that you tasted from somewhere else. When you make it, it's more or less going to come out to be unique in your own way. Kind of the same way if you're making beer, you can kind of relate. There's so many variables that it's hard to control the outcome. And then we have our crushed garlic and ginger and all of our veggies over here prepped out. And if you were here with us a couple days ago, or not a couple days ago, last week, you know what this is called. This is my mise en place. All my things in their place. My bok choy, all my veggies. We're going to go over them in a second. And then my soy sauce. And all my stuff is laid out so that when I get ready, and I do this when I cook too, when I get ready to cook, I'm not going around trying to do things when I need to actually do them, because cooking time is a thing. And when you're cooking multiple things, they all need to come out at the same time. You don't want things to sit and get cold and die. And well, that's what we call it in the chefing world. We call it you're letting your food die. If you're letting something get cold or let it sit there, your food's dying. Don't let it die. So we're going to get started with this. First thing we do, we want to heat our pan super hot. And why we do that is because we're going to fry up these onions, chopped red onions, and our garlic. And these are our aromatics for this dish. And the ginger, right? So I'm going to show you guys how to chop an onion to the point where you will always chop it like this, right? So she's going to come over here and I'm going to show you. I take this onion, right? It's just half an onion chopped down this way. This is pretty important not to chop it this way. I mean, end of the day, it turns out the same, but I prefer to chop it down like this. So you want to create slits along this side of the onion, and then we're going to make slits on this side of the onion, and then we're going to slice it down this way. And what that is it makes slicing onions way, way less work. So she's going to come down here, ground level. We could take this off.
Thank you.
Yeah, take that off for her. So we're going to do this. We're going to slice it like this. Right? And when you do this, you just think, right now you're slicing the dimensions of the square of the onion you're cutting. And so what I mean by that is if you cut this way, a ½ inch apart, that onion's going to be a ½ inch on that side. And same with it this way. We cut about a ½ inch apart because I'm aiming for a ½ inch by ½ inch by ½ inch onion square. That's what I want. So ½ inch apart on top. Right? So you can come see I'm just slicing it like that. And this is easier to do because you're slicing with the onion downwards. And then still, at this point, you still aren't crying because no onion vapors have left this onion still. We're not smashing it, we're not doing anything. You just cut it up this way, vertically and horizontally. Now we're going to cut it along this way to get all these beautiful little diced red onions. So move this over here. So when you slice it like this, all the onion comes popping off at once. And it's pre-diced. Right? And that's the beautiful way to do it. And so if you come up from the top, you can see we now have diced onion. That easy. You go sideways from the top and then this way, or on the side. So that is my secret to cutting onion. I forgot who told me about this. I did not learn that at school. Definitely. Some random chef taught me. He was like, if you want to cut, 20 onions, you can't sit here doing whatever you were doing. You just do it the quick way. Chop, 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 chop. And then you're good. I saw a video one time. A guy holds an onion in his hand. And because he does this so well, he goes chop, 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 rotates it, chop, 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 flips it, chop, 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 in his hand. And then he has all the diced pieces in his hand. And all he's left with is like the little butt of the onion on the piece. And he throws it away. But that's how you get your diced onion. Feel free to steal that one if you need to. I'm going to wash my hands because I had to pick up some onion off the floor real quick. Bless you. Bless you. Alright, take note of the spelling, guys. Jelani. I've had so many people spell it so many ways, and it's understandable, guys. Not judging you. I'm just saying. Jelani. And yes, Valerie, this will prevent you from crying. This is one of the only ways I know to keep you from crying. But if you need to chop these down further, and I'm going to stress this, if you need to have not diced onions, but you need minced onions, these aren't minced. When I say minced, a minced in my book is a quarter by a quarter by a quarter. This is a half by half by half. And so minced, I'm going to just show you guys because we're in a vegetable day. So I'm going to show you like cutting techniques. So when we're mincing onions, I can mince these. When you're mincing onions is great for when you want to grill something. Like if you want to keep your mashed garlic and your onions on the same level, you want to mince your onions, or else your onions and your garlic are going to cook at different rates. So what you want to do is I'm going to tackle this in a two-part question. One, how do I keep myself from crying? And two, how do you mince onions? So to keep yourself from crying, you can do a couple things. There's a lot of wives' tales, but one, you could put a piece of toasted bread in your mouth. I know it sounds weird, but toasted bread is the only way I know to 100% not cry. The toasted bread is toasted because it sticks out. And regular bread, which is limp, you need it to stick out because when you're chopping onion, you get that vapor squirting up. And if you have bread that's toasted, it keeps all that vapor from getting in your eyes, and you're good. On the other hand, you can have something like this, which is a knife that's very sharp. I sharpen this knife pretty often, and I keep it sharp by keeping lemon juice off of it. I make sure it's not, washed too much in the washing machine. I hand wash it most of the time. It gets in the washing machine sometimes, but it's not too bad because it's a knife. It should be able to withstand that stuff. But you want to take care of your knife. A good knife that's sharp will save you from a lot of headaches, and one of those is crying during your onion, because what you're doing is you're smashing the juices out. And if you're slicing through your onion, technically you shouldn't have any juices squirting in your face. So back to mincing. What we do is you want to hold the knife in a particular way. I'm pretty sure you've seen this before, but I'm going to ask Destiny to come over here. You're holding your knife and you're rocking it, right? You're not cutting like a regular, This is how you usually cut. With your knuckles so you don't cut yourself, right? Like this. But if you're mincing, you're rocking your knife back and forth. And the secret to this is rocking and cleaning. And rocking and cleaning, or rocking and cleaning. So you're rocking, cleaning, rocking, right? And my onions spread all across the board, so I'm cleaning. Right? You can just keep doing that. You rock, and you clean, and you rock, and you clean, and you rock, and you clean. You can do that over and over again until your onions are minced up or are minced into nothingness. That's how you can do it, and you keep your board from moving by putting a wet paper towel or something underneath to hold it to slate and those kind of materials. So with that cut up, we're going to move over to this bok choy. Actually, I'm going to hold off on the bok choy. I'm going to set this bok choy aside. I'm going to set these onions aside. And I'm going to show you guys how I cut bell pepper. This one's pretty quick, so I want to get it out of the way. Bell pepper, I slice off the sticker. Alright. Just cut off the top. And I'm not sure how to describe where you cut it. You just cut it to where you won't get any of that green stuff still in here. And these things you could save for vegetable stock. I was just asking Destiny, my camera lady, earlier if she wanted to make vegetable stock with all these vegetables we're cutting up. Vegetables have a ratio for each vegetable. A bell pepper, the usability on a bell pepper is about 70% because you usually don't use this part or the top. And that's a lot of that comes into play in restaurant management when you're figuring out how much bell pepper each dish uses and how much you actually need to buy. Like 10 pounds of bell pepper doesn't turn into 10 pounds of usable bell pepper, you know? So what I do is I chop, you need this out. So you chop this across these 3 or 4 connecting things. You chop these. And you chop down here. And this just plops out, right? And you just pull that out. And all the seeds come out in one glorious fashion. And this is left. This white stuff you don't have to keep, but if you don't want it, you slice this into your 3s, right? And then this little white part, you just shave off like that. And then you're good. And this is where a sharp knife comes into play too, because that's like butter. You don't need to do any dragging or anything like that. Just get this white part, slice it, right? And how we're slicing things for this is how you guys might call fajita style. That's how I slice vegetables for things like this. I want them kind of crunchy. You can also slice them in blocks, but things like the type of vegetables I'm using today require fajita style. So we're just going like this. So you get them in about French fry size. This is 4 inches by 1 inch by 1 inch. Just about, I don't have a ruler on me, so that's not exact. But if you are interested in the sizes of stuff, if you look up recipes, a lot of the time they'll say, if you need to cut something in a specific size, they return to the French version of that, not the regular how we do it version. So, same thing with all the bell peppers. Orange bell pepper is sweeter. A lot of people will tell you different. Yellow and orange bell pepper, they go back and forth. But red bell pepper is easily the most flavorful in terms of, like, if you're on a scale that's not from 0 to 10. This is one side, the bell pepper red is just kind of bitter and tart. So we're using mostly yellow and orange, right? You want that sweet, that, you know, bright energy, that peanut flavor. All that stuff is less on the umami side and more on the delicious vegetable side. Alright, I'm going to peek at what you guys are saying real quick while I show you guys what over here. Imani asks what we're making. We're making stir fry, veggie stir fry. So this is all of our stuff over here. Yes, all this stuff is what we're using. This is ginger and garlic, red onion, yellow pepper, red bell pepper, and there is our orange bell pepper. We have carrot, broccoli, and basil. And then we have soy sauce, peanut oil, and teriyaki sauce. And then our olive oil in the back. Don't forget, guys, to join the Jelani Nichols Chef Jelani mailing list. Just go on chefjelani.com over here. Alright? chefjelani.com. Go on there, sign up for that mailing list. Get all this stuff directly to you. And I'm pretty, we're about to get pretty, how do I say, generous with our tips and tricks and videos. So be sure to sign up for all that. So as I go over these ingredients, I'm going to clear up a couple things. This is kosher salt. Kosher salt because you can use less of it. And if you have a heart condition or if you're on a low sodium diet, definitely want to pick up the kosher salts. Yes. That camera lady's trying to do her job. So, this is bok choy. So, we're about to start breaking down this bok choy. Let me move this bell pepper actually. Need to get it ready. So, just put this in here. So, I'm just putting things in these little things right here so we can keep it all together. Put my bell pepper. Okay. Alright. So, bok choy. I just started using bok choy, but from what I know, bok choy is more, I don't know my bok choy. It is from China, and there are a couple different types of bok choy, but today we're using traditional bok choy that's not bred with anything else, or it's not the baby bok choy. It's regular full-grown bok choy, not wilted. When you're buying it, you want to try to go to, a lot of regular places have them. You usually don't have to go to Asian markets to get these, but if you want to, they'll probably have it fresher and a cheaper price. I realize this when I'm buying limes. I don't buy limes from Ralph's anymore. I only go to Mexican markets or Greek, Arabic markets. So, same thing goes with bok choy. All your veggies, you want to buy them from the region that they're from. That way they're not being flown in or something. So, with this, you want to take off the very top of your bok choy. I actually need a bigger cutting board. I'm realizing it. So, grab my trusty, large polyurethane cutting board. Alright, so, get all this stuff out the way. So, we cut off the very tip. So beforehand, you gotta make sure you wash this down very thoroughly. If you have a vegetable, what's it called? A vegetable cleanser, a vegetable scrub? A vegetable scrubber, I think it's called. You scrub your veggies really well, especially root vegetables like carrots and turnips and potatoes and things like bok choy, leafy cabbage. This is a cabbage family vegetable, so everything in the cabbage family you want to wash very well. Everything that's a root vegetable. I'm sure you guys know this, but I have to say it for my own good conscience that I'm not giving out bad info. So wash your bok choy very, very well. It is in the cabbage family, so it's naturally going to have a lot of little bugs crawling through it probably. And if you want the good cabbage, you want it to not have, the pesticide all over it. So you want to wash it off. We're not going to be using too much of the stock, so you can actually take this, pop it like this. Of course, all this is good for vegetable stock. Remember this. If you want to not throw away all the pounds of vegetable you're buying, just get vegetable stock going. So we take it like this. We're just going to pull the leaves off. And we're going to take most of the leafy greens with us. We're going to leave the white hard part by itself. We're going to probably throw that in the stock. But all the leafy greens we want this part. So we're just going to take this. We're going to do it by hand because you want to be gentle. Doing it with a knife is, you can use it, but you're not going to get that natural pull, You want that natural pull. You can cut this later, but right now you want the actual just leafy green. So we're going to do this for all of them. I'm going to just take the green off. And bok choy, in terms of health benefits, is very, very great. 2 cups of bok choy is 10 calories. No fat, very low in cholesterol. It's great for you. The only thing that you can do to make it not good is probably cook it in butter and bacon or something like that. Same thing with Brussels sprouts. People tend to make it unhealthy by how they cook it when actually is very, very healthy. Celery is kind of like this in the terms of you burn more calories eating it raw than you do by actually eating it because there's so much water inside of it. And if you guys didn't know that, that's something for you to take home with you. If you eat celery, you burn more calories eating it raw because there's nothing in it. Burn like 1 calorie every like couple sticks. Just in case you don't want to work out and you want to eat all day. That's your food. So we take this bok choy, we just do 1 cut like this. I think that's all you need because it's more or less going to shrink down when you cook it. Bigger pieces like this might require another cut just to make sure they're not too gaudy, things like that. And when you see things like that, you turn it this way and you cut it slanted. That makes sure that any pieces that were going to be long and big, just because of how you cut it, they're going to be neutralized. Of course, there's always a way to cut things to make sure it's not, not going to turn sour on you. But in general, you want to make sure that, yes, thank you. You want to make sure that you want to make sure you're cutting things in a way that benefits you. I learned this from my chef. He said, always, with vegetables in your cutting board, always make sure they're working for you, not the other way around. Because if you're working for your vegetable, it's not going to turn out how the customer wants it. It's going to be beaten up and bruised. And same thing with your cutting. If you can't control your cutting board and you're not in control of your equipment and stuff, you're going to have a way harder time cooking. So keep that in perspective. Take a look at what you guys are talking about over here. Hey Cassandra, hey Starletha, hey Brandy. Do I season my oil or my food? So what you season, I'm going to show you guys this. What you're seasoning is the mashed up garlic and what you're making is like a paste in the pan first with the sesame oil, the garlic and ginger, the salt, the pepper, the chili powder, all that stuff makes a paste in your pan, and then you season that, and then you add a little water, chicken stock, and then you throw your vegetables in that, and that's how you get the seasoning rolling. More or less, the seasoning is going to come from that liquid touching your vegetables. But, you can season the vegetables if you want, but seasoning vegetables is always going to be tricky because seasoning vegetables, I'm sure you've seen this with broccoli. If you put pepper on top of broccoli, you're not going to mix that pepper into other broccoli. It's going to stay on that one broccoli piece. It's just going to get caught in all those little leafy passages and veins and whatever. So, the way I solve the problem is to season the liquid or the paste and then move the vegetables throughout that so they all get that same seasoning. Because if you season into a pan of these and then try to mix it around dry, it's going to stay on this and not going to move. It's all going to right there. It sits on top. I'm sure you heard that before, but I'm going to say it again. It sits on top of veggies. Not the same way where it moves through meat. You need liquid to do that with vegetables. So, while we're doing this, you got to keep a couple things in mind. Vegetable staging, which is you're keeping your vegetables where they need to be in terms of cook time. Some vegetables cook slower than others. Some vegetables cook way, way faster. So, what we're going to do, we're going to heat up some of this sesame oil. You want to have it almost smoky. Right? I would say about a tablespoon, but you can eyeball it. I'm sure you guys are good at doing things like that. And just explain quickly the order I'm going to add these in, so I'm not going too fast while I'm doing it. We're going to go broccoli first, right? Broccoli first, because broccoli is going to take the longest. Just in general, it's going to take the longest to cook down to be as tender as we personally would want it. So garlic, onion into the paste. And then we add the broccoli, then our peppers, then our carrot with the peppers, and then we add our mushrooms last, and then our basil comes shortly after, towards the end. But the bok choy is the interesting part. Bok choy cooks for about 5 minutes, but everyone likes their bok choy a little differently. It's like asking someone how they like their rice. No one's gonna really agree on how they like the rice, sticky rice or al dente or what have you. And so bok choy, I'm gonna cook it to where it's firm but not wilted. It's kind of like spinach if you cook it for like a minute or so. Like spinach cooks very fast, and this cooks more like cabbage than spinach. But in general, that's how it is. Let me try this. So, get this. If you can see, this is about ready. We throw in our garlic and ginger. And about a quarter cup of red onions. Diced. You can do it minced, but it's not necessary. But, it's a stir fry. If you want, you could add big chunks of red onion, and that could be part of your stir fry. But in terms of this, I'm just doing it as a flavor, but you can also have it as big chunks. That's another thing you have to decide, is what you want to just be flavored and what you want to actually be chunks in your mouth. I'm using a wooden spoon so I don't damage my pan. And I'm just stirring this up. You can take liberties when you're cooking this. At this stage, you can start taking liberties with your own recipe. When I looked up the recipe, this is my own modified version of it. So I add the soy sauce. Just a very, very little bit, because we're using teriyaki sauce too. I do that so I can deglaze my pan and get all my stuff mixing together at one time. This is the earliest stage of the garlic meeting the onion flavor and the onion meeting the garlic flavor. And then of course this whole time the ginger is just getting more and more delicious. Alright, so we're going to let this cook. Alright, so while this is cooking, we're going to take our peppers are next after our broccoli. So to this, we're going to add a little bit of water because, like I said, you want that flavor to be able to swish around and do what it needs to do. So I'm going to get one of these little cups full of water and throw it in there. Okay, so I put about a cup and a half of water in there, and we're going to let that cook. And I'm waiting for this to get boiling hot before I do anything else, because you want the temperature to stay up there. Alright, so this is getting hot. Just to reiterate what we're going to do, we're now about to start seasoning it with kosher salt and pepper and stuff. So salt going in. And you need very, very little salt because soy sauce and teriyaki are salty by nature. And so you're going to need very, very little of that. And I use white pepper for vegetables just to keep the vegetable color. and integrity. Right? I say about a tablespoon of white pepper. White pepper is a little strong in terms of peppers. You can also use peppercorn, but then you have the risk of not getting it out if you don't use cheesecloth. So, I'm going to throw in my broccoli. I'm going to let those cook for a little bit. Do not forget, guys, go here. Join the mailing list, chefjelani.com. Go there, join the mailing list. We got all the goods for you. Let me just reiterate. Jelani, Jelani. That Jelani. Take a screenshot, guys. That's what it is right there. So, I'm sure you guys, I want to go over something that's basic that some people may know, but some people may not know. The difference between gas and electric cooktops. I personally, I'm sure my mom's not around, I prefer a gas cooktop because the real fire, I don't know, it's just something about being able to see the fire and how big and how hot it's going to be. Like this stove over here is hotter than this stove over here just because it says so. It just says power stove. I don't know. But 1 to 10 to me isn't as good as the flame. But when you're using an electric stove, you can't use a traditional curved wok because you don't have the flames licking the side of your wok. When you have an electric stove like this, you want to stay away from curved things because the flame isn't going to touch up there. It's only hot at the base. You know? That's the reason I have this flat pan right here instead of a wok. If you can imagine a wok here, only the part that's touching would get hot. And when you're stir frying, it's a lot of movement and you can't really pull something with low surface area off and then expect it to stay warm. It may be a lot to understand, but I'm trying to make it very clear. Electric stoves, try to keep your pans flat. Gas stoves, you're free to do more, except use pans that react with fire in a particular way. And that's getting more into particulars. I'm sure none of you have the pans I'm talking about. But if you have cast iron skillets, try not to use them on your electric stove. Because just the cast iron in itself reacts weirdly with electric stoves and it marks them up because they're uneven. It will mark up your nice looking stove with all kind of chips and bruises. I've seen it. It's not good. So again, I want to stress we're using classic olive oil, not extra virgin ever. If you do not have the sesame oil. Sesame oil is pretty key to this recipe in terms of flavor, but I know that people are going to be looking to make this at home. They're going to be thinking, what can I do? You can get some butter, like I said in a previous week, get some butter, put it in the microwave for about 30 seconds, clear off the milk protein on top, get that to a clarified lobster butter looking, type thing. And then you cook your vegetables in that. And you just have delicious vegetables that way. And you get some sesame seeds or something. And you cook your broccoli and sesame seeds. And you'll be good. And a lot of teriyaki sauces have sesame seeds in them. So you can look for that also. So my water's cooked off about halfway now. So you come over here and look. Water's cooked off about halfway. Broccoli is probably like a halfway of the way done. I'll say about 40%, 35%. So I'm gonna throw in my peppers, right? Yellow pepper, red pepper, a little bit of red pepper, not too much, not all of this, no. And then some orange pepper. I'm using mostly yellow pepper because I like the flavor of it more than everything else. But this is when I add in my teriyaki sauce. So, I'll shake this up. So, if you're using the ratios I'm using, which is 1 cup of bell pepper, 1 cup of yellow bell pepper, 1 cup of broccoli, you want to go with about 2 cups of teriyaki sauce and 1 cup of water as your liquid. And this is all going to cook down. Teriyaki sauce thickens when it cooks down. I think it's because cornstarch is in it, not any proteins, but the cornstarch is going to make it thicken up on you, which is what we want. We want that to thicken up even more as the water leaves. It's going to not just leave too, it's going to thicken up. So we throw in our carrots after about a minute or so, depending on how crunchy you want your carrots. That's totally up to you. Some people want them just straight, like, they want them to go in when the basil goes in almost, just to have them super, super fresh. I'm going to throw them in just about now so that they cook with everything else. But, like I said earlier, you can take liberties with your vegetable times and how you want to cook everything. It's totally up to you. Same thing with the mushrooms. Some people want the fresh mushroom like a garnish on top of it, you know? But you take your shiitake mushroom, you take, what do we have?
5%.
Alright. Take it kind of like this. So we're going to let this cook down. My beautiful god sister is going to let you look at that. And I'm going to go and wash my hands and grab some stuff. Alright, and I'm back. Alright, I'll be totally honest with you guys. When I grab my charger from my phone right now, super quick. Times like this where I appreciate doing that. It's super easy, so I don't feel hot when I'm running around. My left is literally running back and forth, trying to get them their dessert on time, their appetizer on time. I'm sure some people can relate with, you know, you want things to come out perfect, so you push yourself. And man, I did more running that night than I did in a long time. So I'm gonna show you guys what we're doing here while I look at the comments. So this is what we're cooking with now. Yeah, Trice Allen says wok issues on an electric stove. Yes, it is an issue. I've tried it before. Well, I didn't try it. I saw someone try it, and it did not work because of the shape and how the flames don't lick the sides. Yes, yes. Hello, everybody. Sandra, Mani. Nice to see you guys. So we're cooking this down. This gets to about, I don't know, it's kind of, the sauce thickness is also on you. You can have it almost back to teriyaki level thickness, or you can have it regular, like liquid thickness. Like you can leave it here. No one's gonna fault you for it. But you're putting it over white rice, so it's gonna catch all that juice anyway. So you can just leave it. But here's where we're gonna throw in our secondary ingredients like the bok choy and the mushroom. So I'm gonna pick up a bok choy. Now picking the pieces, that I want. I'm gonna be pretty selective with it right now in terms of cooking. So I'm gonna throw that in. And I'm going to throw my mushrooms in last because I personally do not like mushy mushrooms. I like my mushrooms nice and firm. And what you're sacrificing when you do things like that is your mushrooms aren't going to soak up as much of the liquid, but they're still going to be delicious because they're fresh veggies, which is why you don't buy frozen veggies. Because fresh, not cooked frozen veggies are gross. No one's going to take frozen veggies out the bag and say, nah, I'm going to just eat them like this. No. So, with your stir fry, same thing goes with the basil. The basil, a lot of people, depending on how you grew up eating basil, you either want it hot and mixed in your food or you want it fresh on top of your food. With Thai basil, it is perfectly okay to heat it up and eat it like it was cabbage or spinach or something like that. Because Thai basil is stronger in terms of some reason of why it's shaped weird, and a bunch of different factors make it so that when you heat it up, it doesn't lose the flavor as much as basil does. Basil gets all wilted and loses the texture. But Thai basil is perfectly cool to throw it in. But I'm going to throw it in when I throw my mushrooms in. So because over the years of cooking experience, these have become, to me, what you throw in last. Totally up to you, again, when you throw these things in. But it's vegetable day. And with vegetable day, we are very concerned with how we cook these vegetables. We don't want them mushy. We want them nice and firm how we like them. I don't like my bell peppers firm. I should have mentioned that. My grandfather will pick up a bell pepper and bite into it. Not even like a sweet one. He'll take a red one and bite into it, like a bitter one. That, to me, is a whole nother level of firm, fresh vegetables. I need my vegetables to be, in terms of bell peppers, I need them to be, like, not mushy, but I need them to have some give. I need them to, when my teeth crunch them, I need them to pop back a little bit, but I can't have it as fresh as an apple. Can't do it. So, this is one of the dishes that I suggest you taste all the way through to make sure you're not over seasoning or under seasoning. It's not too spicy or not, under spicy. So many ways to make stir fry that I suggest you play with it and do what you want with it and make it yours 100%. So I'm going to start getting everything ready. So this is going to cook down, and it can be honestly done whenever you say it's done, but I'm going to cook it down just a little bit more for about another minute or so. But I'm going to cook it with these mushrooms, shiitake mushrooms cut into quarters, guys, and chopped Thai basil, fresh. We swirl these. And we let that all cook together and just get an eye on this.
Can I get that other paper?
Oh, yes. My beautiful god sister's reminding me that people need to know where to go. ChefJelani.com, guys. Don't forget to sign up for that mailing list. You will not regret it. Remember, it is Jelani. The easiest way to misspell this is to switch those. You know, the A and E. We keep them how they are. Elani. Jelani. So, you start off with the plate of fresh white rice. When you're making rice, you can put, if you want to make it for this in general, I make white rice in more, more ambiguous, there it is, more ambiguous batches. I forgot the word. But if you want to make it specifically for this, you can add salt to your pot. And you might just put salt. You can put like a little bit of ginger, maybe a couple of like red onions or something. Yeah, I love making rice because you put everything you need in a cheesecloth and you drop it in there. And then if you keep track of it and you don't let your rice cook onto it, you should be good. But just keep it at the tip. Salt, ginger in your rice water will make your rice more congruent with your actual dish. So we want to take this. Where's this one? Alright. So we're going to take this and we're going to, there's a couple ways you can grab this for this. If you want the sauce, I suggest you get a spoon. If you don't want the sauce, you get a slotted spatula like this. Bless you.
It's the pepper.
So you're going to grab all these veggies. And the veggies are holding the liquid. So you don't have to worry about them losing that liquid. So I'm going to come over here. Alright, so your veggies are holding your liquid for you. So come over, grab a big spoonful, drop it on top. And then if you want, you put some fresh basil on it, a sprig or two. We're going with a sprig. And then you can let this sit. This sauce, when you come over here, this sauce is going to thicken up over time. That's just what sauces do when they get colder. That's physics or chemistry or one of those. But when things get colder, the atoms get closer and they just, I don't know, it's going to get thicker from here. But if you want it to be like this, you have to get it while it's hot. You know? So this is what you want. Full of veggies, all kind of things. There's mushrooms, bok choy, peppers, red, yellow, and orange, ginger, garlic. Let me focus this thing. Ginger, garlic, onion, and broccoli. And it's all delicious and nutritious, and it's very, very good for you. The only thing you might run into with this is if you don't get low sodium ingredients like teriyaki and soy sauce and the likes of that nature. I got low sodium most things, but you want to make sure that you're not over salting this dish at all. You can lean on your spices and your peppers, but you want to make sure it's delicious. So I'm going to let Destiny try this.
Don't put me on camera.
Alright, so go grab a fork. So this is what we're looking at, guys. Your soy sauce and your teriyaki sauce together. Oh, hey guys. Hey Lakeisha. Hey Sandra. Hey Monica. So this is a vegetarian dish at heart.
It's
and
good.
Nothing's, well, she says it's good.
It is. It's good.
Look at that. Having a good old time eating this mess. I'm gonna try some too.
Oh.
See what it tastes like.
All you had was rice.
That mess is good.
It's good.
Alright, so it's very simple, guys. The vegetables are the building block of flavor, I think. I'll turn this around so you can see me. I think the vegetables are what makes this so good, because you don't realize that that's what's making it so delicious, is the sauce tastes like the vegetables and vice versa. is going to make everything come out. And the ginger. That ginger. I don't cook with ginger often, but when I hear I should cook with ginger, I don't hesitate because ginger is great. So, you want to look at this again? And this is definitely one of those dishes you can just look in your fridge and make if you have enough things in your fridge. You have teriyaki sauce and soy sauce. I'm sure a lot of you have garlic and onion. And then the rest you come up with yourself. You could put things like butternut squash, eggplant, whatever you want to substitute for the vegetables in this thing. And it's always going to come out delicious because it's the vegetables you want. If you don't like bok choy, don't use bok choy. If you don't like, mushy, if you don't like peppers, don't use peppers. It's all up to you. It's a very, very personal dish. These are what I like. A lot of people, a staple for this is snow peas. I don't like peas. I'm gonna say I don't like peas in the ways I've had them already. I'm gonna say that. I haven't had peas I personally have liked, and so I stayed away from peas. But snow peas, if you keep them crunchy, I'm sure they could be good in this. They could make a delicious meal. So we're gonna look back over here and see what's happening. This is my assistant going to town on these. On this. So you see how she's doing it. The juice eventually sops into the rice. And you just have all these veggies. And it's like a party. And I like it because there's so many veggies that each bite's going to be different because you can't get them all in one bite. It's going to be delicious, and you can put whatever you want in it. To make it meat flavored, you can the most common meat to put in this would probably be steak or chicken. Actually, chicken. Chicken's probably the most common. Tris, you should pull that walkout every time, and I don't know why it's in retirement. It shouldn't be in retirement. And I don't. Tell me how you really feel about peas. I'm pretty open about my dislike for peas. I don't know why. I think it's because someone made them when I was a kid, and they were like frozen peas, and they were all mushy, and they weren't seasoned.
No, it was canned peas.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. She said it was canned peas. I just know there are peas in general, and so I've had a thing where I'll try anything, anywhere except for peas. And so join the mailing list if you want to hear more about the little tips and tricks for everyday life and how to substitute your vegetables if you don't like peas either. What I use if I don't like peas a lot of the time to get that crunch is either broccoli or carrots because they all fall in the same family, I guess, in terms of what you would use them with. But yeah, we're going to make sure that you're taken care of with these recipes. I'm sure people have been posting them in the comment section for a while now. But a couple tips for this dish you want to remember. Rice, you're using white rice. Jasmine white rice, if you want to be specific. You can use whatever rice you want, but I prefer jasmine. It's sticky rice. So what you're doing is you're leaving a lot of the water to be soaked up in your rice. So you take it off the heat and then you let it sit for about 2 minutes, and then they'll continue to soak and it becomes sticky rice. And I'm sure a lot of you can have an idea what sticky rice is. It is the Asian style rice where it's kind of like you can pick it up in an ice cream scooper and turn it over and it's still in the ice cream scoop shape. And that's what you want, not just for presentation, but for just for flavor and texture too. Yeah, so this dish is pretty simple in terms of how you do it and what you do, but you gotta remember a couple things. Always, always, always keep your wok very hot if you're going to make it. Keep your vegetables fresh and keep your soy sauce lightly salted. So I think in terms of stir fry, a lot of people were asking me. I'm looking at these comments and whatnot. A lot of people are asking me what you would use to substitute, like if you want to add meat or something. I would just say chicken or skirt steak. Skirt steak is always. You said shrimp?
Sure.
Shrimp probably, jumbo shrimp. Probably would be good. Teriyaki, jumbo shrimp. I don't know what just happened, but jumbo shrimp stir fry with some ginger and all that stuff. Ginger saves lives. I'm sure it does. What is this? Oh, filters. Alright, so I think that you guys have been great today. Just to recap some of the things, you just need a wok, cutting board, a knife, and a spatula. 4 things in terms of supplies. It's all you need. Do it. If you don't have a wok, use this. A big flat skillet. And I'm going to leave you guys with that. Remember, keep your aromatics nice and sauteed, like your ginger and your garlic and your onion. There's a reason we do that first. They're aromatics. You always want to do that first because they're going to, something about that flavor of sauteed onion and ginger and garlic. I'm sure a lot of you know onion and garlic, the beauty of sauteing that and filling your house with that smell by itself. People want to eat dinner when they smell garlic and onion. But yeah, so peanut oil, garlic, and onion, saute that, throw in your teriyaki sauce and your soy sauce, saute that some more, throw in your broccoli into that sauce mixture, so that you're not putting your dry seasoning on your broccoli. It's already all in there. And then you go in the order that you want your vegetables to turn out in tenderness. You just add them in like 2 or 3 minute intervals. And then at the very end, you add your mushrooms and your basil, and you're good. And I'm going to leave you guys with that one. It's very nice having you again, Chef Jay on Sunday. Go to chefjelani.com. Grab this for you. Can you guys see this? Is it backwards this way? I think it's good this way, right? All right, so yeah. See, I knew it was backwards. No, I didn't show you. Chef Jelani. Chef Jelani. I like that beanie though. ChefJelani.com. Check it out. It's JELANI. And I'm sure a lot of you have things to do after you watch me on Sunday, so I'm going to let you guys go. Watch the football game or cooking your walks at home. And I will sign off here. If I figure out how to turn this around. Hey, there we go. All right. Goodbye, guys. I will see you guys next Sunday, as always. And keep it classy.